What's up, Sussex? The next shot you'll see of us will be sitting with the phenomenal Laura Dye. So, Laura, who are you?
Well, my name is Laura Dye. I am a third generation Delaware resident, Sussex County resident. My grandparents moved to the Eastern Shore when they were in their teens and met and married here on the Eastern Shore. My grandparents were both raised Amish. My grandma left the Amish church because she wanted to get an education. She wanted to go to college. The Amish, they don't let their daughters go to school past the 8th grade, or their kids don't go to school past the 8th grade. She didn't want to live that life. So she left the Amish church because she wanted to get an education. She did. She became Mennonite, and she and my grandpa got married. I don't even know what year they got married. It was a very long time ago. And my dad was raised on the Eastern Shore, and they went down to Virginia for a while, ended up back on the Eastern Shore. He graduated from Del Mar High School and played football, wrestled, all that good stuff. And then he moved away and met my mom, and they moved back to the Eastern Shore to be near his family and to raise their kids. This is a very common theme. So I grew up here on the Eastern Shore. I did not graduate from high school around here. I was homeschooled. So if you ask me, do you know? Nope, don't know. I was homeschooled. Don't know anybody from high school. And then when I got married, I moved to Ohio, lived there for 1.5 years, moved back to the Eastern Shore to be near my family, who've now all moved away. So, that sucks. But I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a boss. I'm a very bossy boss. I'm a barista, and I used to be a photographer. I don't know what I am now.
Out of all the places that you could have moved to, why did you choose to stay in Sussex?
So originally we moved back to Sussex County because we wanted to be near my family. I'm the second of 5, and my siblings all lived here on the Eastern Shore, and we wanted to be close to them. My dad lived here, my mom lived here, and we stayed because it's really a good place to raise your kids. We're close to the city. I would love to live in the city. I love the city. My husband cannot stand the city. So this is a good compromise. I get to be close enough to the city that when there's not a pandemic, I can visit it. But we're also half an hour from the beach. And my husband is now a surfer, as you can tell by our decor. And he tries to surf at least a couple times a week. And I love the beach. I don't like to surf. That's way too much work. But I do love the beach. And that is the only hobby we have in common is the beach. And so we stay here because it's a good place to raise kids. I really like how diverse Sussex County is becoming. We were in the Del Mar School District. We're now in the Indian River School District. Phillips Shell, I want to say, is 44% minority, which is a huge switch from what we were at Del Mar. And I really, really love that my children get to go to school with kids who don't look just like them. That's very, very important to me. And it's not something you get easily in the country, which is essentially where you live. So, yeah, I love being close to the beach. That's a big thing. And we do have family around here. That's why we stay. We've considered moving away. But my dad still lives here. My sister lives a couple hours away. If we move away, we would lose. Now 3 of my husband's 5 siblings live here. So if we move away, we would lose that support structure.
What has me really excited is this project you started with the photos. Talk to us about that.
So about 1 million years ago, the year before I turned 30, I decided to challenge myself. I was doing photography full time at the time. And as I mentioned earlier, I hate having my picture taken. And I decided to challenge myself. For a year, I was going to take one self-portrait a year for a year. And that was the year before I turned 30. So that was about 10 years ago. So that was my first 52 portraits project, was 52 self-portraits. And if you go back, they're around. It was a really interesting challenge, and that whole hitting that deadline. So then I did a project for a while that was called the White T-Shirt Project, where I would just get random people to put a white t-shirt on over whatever they were wearing and stand in front of a white background and take their picture and then just post them and so share them on social media, and friends would tag them and stuff. And the reason I love portraits, the reason I love photography, the reason I'm a terrible nature photographer is because people are what's interesting. People are what intrigue me, and I love taking a picture of someone and getting them to relax in front of the camera, and that moment when they just drop all their pretenses and become who they are just for a second. If you can click your camera right then and just it's magical, right? That's why photography is so fun. And so 52 portraits was my challenge this year, to start pushing myself again creatively and take pictures of people and get them in front of the camera. Because you know what's the most uncomfortable part of being a photographer is asking people to be part of your project. I'm just doing a project where I photograph people against white backgrounds and it's kind of weird. Do you mind just posing for me? That's weird, right? That's a level of vulnerability. And so for me, it's a challenge to say, I'm taking pictures and can I take your picture? So that's my project this year, hoping to do 52 this year. I'm running a little behind now. I need to get some groups, and being in a pandemic does limit your ability to ask people, but I can shoot from 6 feet away. It's cool.
Laura, thank you for sharing. It's folks like you that make Sussex County an awesome place to live in.